It's been another busy week for space science and astronomy. In case you missed the daily short videos this week, here's a cut of all the stories in one. From the launch of ESA's Hera mission to a layer of molten rock deep inside the moon, an incredible aurora seen across the world, we covered it all. There's plenty more stories to enjoy in the video. Please follow, drop a like, and consider subscribing on YouTube to support the channel and so you don't miss another space science update. ESA's Hera mission successfully launched aboard a Falcon 9 this morning. The probe will visit the asteroid Dimorphos and will examine the after effects of the impact by NASA's Double Asteroid Redirection Test. DART was the first time humans have deflected the path of an asteroid, reducing the orbital period of Dimorphos around its parent asteroid Didymos by 32 minutes. Hera will study the binary asteroid system, investigate its geology, and make a detailed study of the effects of slamming a spacecraft into an asteroid. Hera is also carrying two small CubeSats called Melania and Juventus that will help assess the gravitational field around the asteroids, perform spectroscopy and other tasks. Expected to reach the asteroid system in December of 2026, the mission will provide crucial details on the asteroids themselves and also on one method of protecting Earth from potentially devastating asteroid impacts. You may be wondering how a Falcon 9 was able to launch while they're grounded by an FAA investigation. This launch received an exemption since its second stage was not being recovered and elements of that recovery process were the cause of the FAA investigation. That's barreling towards Florida loaded with 145-mile-per-hour winds. Hurricane Milton is already causing chaos, and it's also wreaking a bit of havoc with NASA's schedule. NASA has postponed the return of 4 astronauts from the ISS since they would have splashed down off the coast of Florida during the storm. The Crew 8 astronauts were originally scheduled to undock yesterday, but it will now be no earlier than Monday, October 13th before the Crew Dragon capsule undocks from the ISS. NASA has also indefinitely postponed the launch of the Europa Clipper mission that I talked about last week. In order to make its rendezvous with Jupiter, the mission will have to launch before November the 6th, when the window closes. After that, NASA will have to look at backup dates in 2025 or 2026. The Europa Clipper launch opportunities are also instantaneous, so the launch has to happen exactly at the prescribed time each day. Of course, some inconveniences in space exploration are one thing, but this storm could cause serious damage to a state that's still recovering from the previous hurricane. If you're in the path of the storm, please stay safe. That's our 60 wonder if there's life out there somewhere in the universe? Outside of our solar system, one of the best places to look for life is rocky planets around other stars. Scientists think that an atmosphere is a requirement for a planet to support life, but detecting atmospheres on tiny, distant, rocky worlds that can't be imaged directly is a huge challenge. Researchers at the University of Chicago have come up with a new way to tell if these planets have an atmosphere. The technique uses the fact that an atmosphere will tend to spread the heating from the day side of the planet, facing the star, over the whole planet, just like here on Earth. Astronomers can calculate the maximum possible temperature that the day side of the planet should be at, and if the measured temperature is less than this, then we can assume the planet has an atmosphere. The idea for this method has been around for a while, but it's only now with JWST that we can make the needed measurements. There are other techniques, such as looking at whether light from the star has changed as it passes the planet, indicating an atmosphere, but this new method is potentially simpler and more reliable. The research is published in the Astrophysical Journal. That turns out the moon may not be made out of cheese after all. New research suggests the moon has a partially molten layer of rock just above its core. Just like the moon and sun cause tides on Earth that change the planet's shape, the Earth and sun cause tides on the moon. These are harder to spot because there's no oceans on the moon, but scientists have used data from 2 spacecraft to measure these tides. Data from NASA's Gravity Recovery and Interior Laboratory, or GRAIL mission, and the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter were used to measure the periodic changes in the shape of the moon caused by the gravitational effects of the Earth and sun. Looking at the time it took to respond and recover from these forces, scientists created computer models of the interior structure of the moon, and in this case only models with a partially molten layer near the core replicated the observations. This is a super cool result, although of course it does raise new questions, such as where does the heat come from to maintain this molten layer, and how did the moon evolve to have such a layer in the first place. The paper is published in AGU Advances. It was another amazing show for aurora watchers last night, with incredible auroral displays as far south as central Mexico. A coronal mass ejection from the Sun on October 8th took a couple of days to travel the 93 million miles to Earth, even at speeds of over 2 million miles per hour. When it got here and interacted with Earth's magnetic field, it produced a G4 magnetic storm, with NOAA estimating the storm could reach the maximum level of G5, which can put a strain on electrical grids and cause blackouts in some radio communications. I was able to capture the aurora with my phone, even from light-polluted skies in Southern California, and for those in dark sites, it was an even more spectacular light show. The prediction suggests that the storm could continue into Friday night, so it's definitely worth a look at the sky tonight. Even if you can't see the aurora with the naked eye, a quick phone picture might reveal them. Settings vary by phone, but with my Samsung Galaxy, I just used night mode with the phone on a tripod, and it clearly showed me what my eyes were missing. That's it.